Yes.
All
My
right.
name is John Moore, and I am a big fan of Shakespeare. Always has been. But it was only a few years ago that I decided to maybe just delve a little bit further into it. So I had some books of Shakespeare that was laying around, but I also decided to go out and get some DVDs of Sir Laurence Olivier, and I just started watching the DVDs, and I would compare the DVD what I was seeing on the films with the text that I had, and by just constantly doing that through repetition, I started gradually, learning it, and always had a love for the English language, period, and it's always been my love of rap music that furthered my love for the language. And so it was rap music that's decided to lead me to Shakespeare. And so once I started getting into it, it became addictive. Once Shakespeare gets into your blood, it's hard to get it out. To me, it's just a great hobby, you know. It changes you in certain ways too. I think it makes you a better person, more decent person. At least you're more conscious of the things that you say. You're more conscious of the language. You know, you have a deeper love for the language, and it's something that I'll always do for the rest of my life. It's a part of me now.
And you've never done this. You've never acted, right, for anybody, and have you taken any acting classes?
Never took any acting classes.
So this
before.
just sort of came out. And what about when you were a kid? Did you ever act?
Well, I always
at
had a
school,
love for movies and things of that nature, but I never considered myself an actor. Jeez, I'm a fat, chubby kid, you know. Growing up, I never thought that, you know, I could be an actor. Please, for God's sake. And I don't even know it's for me now, but I just, you know, if it's something that you know could you know, if it's a direction I can go in, I would definitely look into it. But to me, it's just a hobby and just a love of the English language. I'm going to do it regardless. Because I just love this. I just love the language. And Shakespeare, what better person to get into than Shakespeare? And you find when you start listening to Shakespeare that how it connects with the language today as well. I mean, you find so many familiarities in current language. You find it in Shakespeare as well, and it has a lot of parallels. Of course, it is the English language, but that is a much you know, older version of the English language. But there's so many current connections to it. So it's just an absolute joy and thrill for me to you know, listen to other people do Shakespeare as well as try to recite it myself.
So you've watched Laurence Olivier. Who else have you looked at who plays Shakespeare? Is there anybody else that you have tried to emulate? Because you're sort of channeling Laurence Olivier as much as you're channeling Hamlet in this last piece.
Sir Laurence Olivier has always been the end-all and be-all for me. Yeah, I love Sir Laurence Olivier. And I've seen Kenneth Bragdon do some versions of Hamlet. I've seen others do it as well, but I always fall back to Sir Laurence Olivier. He is, to me, I think the greatest actor who's ever lived. And I try, you know, I have to see things done. So if you would give me a book of Shakespeare's and they say, now learn this, I would have never been able to do it. I have to see it being done.
Okay.
And watching him, I learned, you know, how to execute it, how I should use words, but then I put it in my own original way, so that I can make it enjoyable for myself in a way.
Do you? So you watch this on DVD. Do you go a lot to the theater?
I've never been to a theater.
You've never seen Shakespeare acted on stage?
Never seen
Hamlet, Othello?
No, never seen it acted on stage. I just seen the, when you watch these movies that Sir Laurence Olivier did back in the 50s or the late 40s, you know, you get the sense of what it's like, a stage presentation is like, because that's what he did. He had basically adapted a stage presentation and presented it on film. But it's you know, it's almost like watching a play, if you ask me. So I've never seen a live play actually done, but I've seen it on a play on film. And so it's a joy.
Do you know what you're going to be reading next? I mean, what are you reading right now?
I fluctuate between Hamlet and Othello. I mean, you can spend your whole life just studying those two. I'm sort of intimidated by going over to something else, but I just want to try to get as much of those two plays as I can. And since it's just a hobby for me and it's just fun, there's no pressure for me to try to learn a whole bunch of different stuff. This Hamlet and Othello keeps me busy.
What do other folks say about this? Because you've just done this for me today.
Right.
You've done this for others as well, I'm sure.
Right. I've done it for other. I victimize other people. I've caught them what I call Shakespeare ambushes. I mean, I've catch them unexpectedly, and then I would just recite some of the lines to them, and the reaction has always been positive.
Yeah.
So,
what does your family think about this?
They don't know anything about it, actually.
So this is for friends and strangers.
Right. This is for friends and some strangers. Well, usually for people who I'm acquainted with,
Right.
but not really very close friends with.
Yeah. It's,
But it's enjoy something. I'll always victimize someone with Shakespeare.
That's hilarious.
All right.
So I'm going to stop this, and
Okay.
that was